Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is something new. This is a segment from the first ever Sojourner's Guide to Bonzarel. That's right, I'm creating a small, handy visitor's guide for any player that wishes to engage in the homebrewed world of Bonzarel. If you have been following along, you know that the world of Bonzarel is the fantasy world in which I created for my players to engage in, and it has some elements of traditional RPGs, and it has some elements of our own mythologies and even fantasy mythology, as well as some of my own imaginations in how I think the world works, or how I think it could work, or really just whatever tells the best and dramatic story. And that's where we're beginning here. This is a written segment of the book, and it involves the council between the gods and the goddesses on how they would go about creating mortals. And while not completely exhaustive, it gives a nice little highlight into how the gods think and the process that it took to create the mortal beings on the plane of Bonzarel. So I hope you enjoy it. And so for now, our story continues. All of the gods assembled at the presentation of Lifekind within the hour of creation. And before them, a smooth plain, a circle. The world of Bonzarel lay before them. And speaking of the beings that they were fashioning, the elves, the dwarves, and the humans, Inertia spoke up. How will they be like us, you ask? They will each possess a seed of inertia, an essence of divinity in which they will create even as we have, possessing power to plant a tree, tame a beast, form a life even within their own bodies. The strong and powerful Hardest protested. Then they will be just like us, so what will stop them from one day ascending to rival our power? The gods remained silent. And a smooth voice spoke out amongst the crowd. We will grant them Bonsar. The young Grapson spoke up. Bonsar will limit their time, their power, and knowledge to a single mortal life that finishes within their world. And for those that spend their Bonsar well, they will hope to achieve life in the worlds alongside with us, especially those that show the most fealty. The beautiful Cronalia raised up her voice, asking the question on every god's mind. And what about those that spend it poorly? Grabson smiled and breathed out a small laugh. Well, there will always be those of us who accept the scraps and the leftovers. And so for now, our story concludes. Thank you for listening, Sojourner. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and I look forward to continuing this adventure. A special thanks to my players who play Vaughn, Hawkins, Sterling, Ascendaton, Samoon, Birdie, and Trina. Without you, I would have never been able to develop the world of Bonzarel as I have. A special thanks to Rhett from Stack of Dice, who inspired me with his actual play podcast, Stack o' Dice, to design my very own world. Thank you to John from Role Playing Tips, where I have been completely challenged to become a better game master. If you enjoyed this background music and ambiance, you should visit Tabletop Audio. Find them for all your tabletop audio needs at www.tabletopaudio.com. And thank you, Sojourner. However you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.